Hello, I'm Tom Wilkinson and welcome to the Thinking in English podcast.
Hi, I'm Tom Wilkinson and welcome to English Thinking Podcast.
A podcast for intermediate to advanced level English learners.
Podcast to intermediate, advanced English level.
Tea is the second most popular beverage in the world.
Tea is the second most popular drink in the world,
just behind water.
just behind water.
How much do you know about the history of this delicious drink?
How much do you know about the history of this delicious drink?
Join me today for a discussion on the history of tea, from mysterious and mythical Chinese emperors.
Join me today for a discussion of the history of mysterious Chinese tea,
to a Portuguese princess in London,
to a Portuguese princess at London.
At the same time, we'll learn lots of new and interesting words while testing your listening skills.
At the same time, we will learn a lot of new interesting words and testing your listening skills.
You can find the full transcript for this episode over on the Thinking in English blog.
You can find the transcript of finished episode on Thinking English podcast.
The link is in the description and it's free. Here it.
The link is in the description and this is free.
Is today's vocabulary list. Beverage. Beverage. A drink, especially one other than water.
Beverage. Drink, especially another than water.
For example, customers can choose from a wide variety of beverages, including coffee, tea, and fresh juices.
For example, customers can choose between a wide variety of beverage, including tea and fresh coffee.
To steep. To steep. To soak in a liquid, typically water, to extract flavors or to soften.
To steep. Soak in liquid, typically water to extract flavors and soften.
For example, the tea leaves need to steep in hot water for a few minutes.
For example, tea leaves must be measured in hot water for about minutes.
Infuse. To introduce flavors or qualities into a liquid by soaking or steeping.
Infuse. To introduce flavors or liquids in a liquid by soaking or steeping.
As in, the chef decided to infuse the olive oil with herbs to enhance the taste of the salad dressing.
As in, the chef decided to infuse the olive oil with herbs for enhance the flavors of the
medicinal, having properties or qualities that are beneficial for health. As
medicinal, having properties of qualities that are beneficial.
As in, many traditional cultures believe in the medicinal properties of certain herbs and plants.
And many traditional cultures believe in the medicinal properties of certain herbs.
Dynasty. Dynasty. A series of rulers from the same family.
Dynasty. A series of rules of the same dynasty in the family.
As in, the Ming Dynasty is known for its cultural achievements and influence on art and literature.
Is to know as in the Ming Dynasty for their culture achievements and influence in art and literature.
Blend. Blend. A mixture of different elements or substances. For example, the chef created a unique spice blend.
Blend. Mixture of different elements or substance that, for example, the chef created a unique spice plant.
Oxidation. Oxidation. The chemical reaction that occurs when a substance reacts with oxygen, often causing a change in color.
Oxidation. The chemical reaction that occurs when a substance reacts with oxygen often causes a color change.
For instance, the browning of an apple when exposed to air is a result of oxidation.
For example, the browning of an apple when its exposure to air is the result of oxidation.
As a British person, I drink a considerable quantity of tea every week.
As a British person, I drink a concentrated amount of the tea every week.
Tea is the national drink of the UK, and when I'm at home in England with my parents,
Tea is the national beverage of the United Kingdom, and when I am at home in England with my family,
I'll usually enjoy at least 5 cups of tea every day.
I will usually enjoy at least 5 cups of the tea every day.
This will usually be English breakfast tea.
This will usually be English breakfast tea,
which is a blend of black teas, served with a splash of milk.
which is a blend of black teas served with a dash milk.
While I no longer live in the UK, I do still drink a lot of English tea.
While not longer living in the UK, I still drink a lot of English tea.
My local department store here in Japan sells PG tips.
My local department store here in Japan sells PG tips,
A popular brand of British tea, so I have a regular supply.
a popular British brand tea, so I have a regular.
I also drink a variety of other teas here in Japan.
I also drink a variety of other teas here in Japan.
Green teas, barley teas, jasmine and oolong teas, and herbal teas.
green teas, jasmine teas, and herbal teas.
A friend of mine from Taiwan recently gave me a few cases of high quality Taiwanese tea.
A friend of mine from Taiwan here recently gave me some high cases Taiwanese quality tea.
So I've been enjoying that as well.
So I have been enjoying that as well.
Tea is a big part of my life.
Tea is the big part of my life.
It's something I enjoy drinking, whether it is a comforting cup of English breakfast tea.
It's something that I enjoy drinking, either a comforting cup of English breakfast
In the morning, or an interesting pot of Chinese green tea.
in the morning, or an evening 2 cup Chinese neat green tea.
As a person who enjoys tea, I'm ashamed to say that until relatively recently,
As a person who enjoys tea, I am ashamed to say that even relatively
knew very little about its history.
knew very little about his history.
Who was the first person to think of putting a leaf in boiling water?
Who was the first person to think about putting a leaf in boiling water?
And then realize it tasted good. You could do this with hundreds of different leaves.
And then you realize that it tastes good to you. I could do this with hundreds of different ones.
From various plants.
Bueno, de acuerdo al video que grabé, pues puedo notar pues muchos errores, ya que al momento de estar eh, escuchando lo que dice el podcast, muchas veces yo no puedo entender como tal lo que están diciendo. Entonces, como no puedo entender lo que están diciendo, no puedo parafrasear como tal, sino en su mayoría, pues me cuesta un poco esa parte. Hay partes en las que sí entiendo un poquito más acerca de lo que dicen, pero hay otras en las que no. Entonces, en esas que no, es donde como que me cuesta un poquito más hacer un parafraseo y no logra hacerlo como tal. Otro de los errores que creo notar es pues el tiempo que dejo pasar entre frase y frase, es decir, entre las pausas que hago, porque justamente como hay veces en las que no logro entender bien del todo lo que está diciendo el podcast, hago pausas más frecuentes con la intención de poder, de eso sí, entenderlo y poder yo parafrasearlo de una mejor manera, que aún así pues me es un poco complicado.